So I think a pretty funny thing just happened. Because do you see we have a comment. Apparently what happened is like Kirilo came here super early and we did a lot of technical checks before the stream, but as I was starting the stream, I knocked something off with my hand and basically there was no sound.
Oh God!
No,
Let's start from the beginning.
Yes. Let's start from, but let's try and kind of keep things pretty short. Basically, we've decided that we're gonna watch one of the three players that you know. Nalaheim, the highest rated player in the world. Wait, still no sound. Come on. Still no sound,
guys.
No, there has to be sound. No, now there should be. Now we need a comment from you if you're hearing things or not. Because we're also streaming with a 1 minute delay, by the way, so just, you know, like the sound should come soon enough at some point. Yeah. Still no. Wait. No, there should be sound. I'm pretty sure there should be sound. Anyway, let me.
Yeah. Sound.
Is?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
It works. It works. Yeah, we're back.
Okay, so good that we started the stream a little bit early. Obviously, we missed the introduction of my special guest, but you can see it on the screen. It is Kirilo Manikov of Ukraine, the highest rated player in Ukraine. By the way, congratulations on winning yesterday against the Portuguese
thank you,
captain.
Alexey. Yeah. Thank you a lot. Yeah, it was hard, but you know, we just did it. Yeah.
And as for the introduction to this match, we probably expect Finland to be the favorite due to it being their second year of participation and they having the higher rated players. Australia still has several experts, you know, the Me Got No Skill, of course, the team captain, plus who else? The Smurf, I think, with the 5 instead of as he's also an expert, and there's a third player as well. Anyway, let's just start watching the games. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, guys, you missed an interesting discussion here. Our starting.
Yes, Kirilo just disclosed all his heart and soul to you.
I told all secrets of Ukrainian team to Alexey, and you just missed it.
Okay, so Nalaheim starting with his traditional green, Migat with his, I'm not sure how traditional, but he's red. Nalaheim got already 4 points. And so natural moves at the start. Let's see what the Australian does here. That's actually quite interesting. So Kirilo, do you prefer with the scout tile to continue the city or start a new one?
I'm not a big fan to continue such a city like that. So yeah, I don't like that move at all. So that's not my style, but actually, my teammate Warrior do it all time.
Yeah, so you probably meant like something like this, and then looking for those Dorito patterns. Yeah, so it's kind of double-edged. So from Migot's perspective, he kind of agrees with you. He wants to just wait for a city cap and finish the city as soon as possible. And the downside, of course, is that Nalaheim can do something like this, start blocking, or maybe even invading. We do see an early farmer here from the Finn, and now an additional blocking attempt against the city, which is not going to be thwarted anytime soon. So Migot is just building new cities on the left.
And he calls.
Yeah. So a brief lead on the scoreboard, 8 versus 4. Nalaheim, of course, has another construction project at the bottom. Now he's going to finish an 8-point city of his own.
Actually, I don't like this road that Red me put.
You mean on the right, yeah?
Yeah, just...
Yeah, I kind of overlooked that. So what about that road? Do you think that it's like too blockable, or just it's shady investment of a meeple when there's already another one on a different road?
This road seems to me just not important to build. Yeah, we can just leave it here. but it's okay. It's not a big mistake. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not mistake at all. Yeah, it's I just don't like.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because like there is so either you start to build this awkward road, and this is the choice of the Australian, or you leave this road for your opponent who
Yeah.
can like take it with a couple of straight lines. But we have bigger fish to fry than roads as Nalaheim finishes one more 8-point city and drops a second farmer for at least 6 points on the left. Also tries to put pressure on Me God City, and kind of a rough position for red here.
Yeah. But actually, I'm a little surprised of this early farming from Navarheim. The right field seems good, but another one, it's pretty close.
Yeah. About the fields though, there's also potential for them to merge through a road
Yeah,
monastery.
that will be really good for him.
But then on the other hand, Nalaheim needs a
But
monastery
but
here
now,
as
yes,
well.
the better
Yeah.
place is just in another place. Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
as a result of this Migots move, which is just putting pressure on this square. Also, a really interesting situation for Nalaheim here. He can score quick points with this tile, and not quite clear what to do. I mean, I presume he wants to continue the city on the left, but he's thinking about this.
Mm, he can, yeah. Actually, it's not bad. Just continue his city.
Do you want to point it up to have a better blocking probability, but then have yourself a chance to, share the blocking square with red, or do you just want to like point it with the road up and give red a
Yeah.
chance to defend, but then make sure that this city of your own is safe?
I actually thinking about the second option because if he defended by it's me. I know it's me because I'm too big for this internet.
You mean like you're blocking the signal?
Remember how we joke about our teammates? You're fat, so I'm too fat for this stream.
Right. Way of expressing affection to each other is your teammates prefer to hurl rude insults at each other as a way of showing love.
Yeah, so we just call each other fat guys. So fat. If you 10 years in game, so it's just a big honor to be a fat guy.
Yep. Yeah. So we should be all back right now. It seems. I mean, there is a delay, of course, but there is signal again. There is signal again.
And where is the game?
Yeah, I mean, the game is right here, and now I'm just thinking about something with this cow, and there are really not a lot of great options for him. Oof.
Really interesting. Maybe it's time to continue his left city.
Yeah, that's an option, I guess. Wait, what's that about? But let's see what he actually did. Oh no, he said he tried to break Me God City at the top, and it didn't work. But at least he managed to invade there at the top. Yeah, so that's kind of nice for him. Now, let's try and make sense further of this position. This is already looking a bit better for the Australian.
Yeah, it seems like just maybe. Let's make some calculations.
Okay, we're doing now. I'm a bit. Okay. So we seem to be going a bit temporarily back and forth. Now should be a bit of a better moment, so we expect stream health at least for the next several minutes. Let's just see what the players have been up to. It seems like nothing much has happened. At the very least, Miga and Oskill is getting a majority in the city at the top. But the question is, do you wanna actually try and complete it? So if you're red, do you just go over here for a couple of points, or do you do something more like a waiting move, maybe taking 3 points over here?
I think it's important to do it right now, and try to create a plan what to do next. Maybe just defense this big ruin, and that's all.
Yeah, maybe. So then that ruin's gonna be worth what, like around 12, 14 points? And then maybe there is even a chance that we can finish it. So imagine we go there. And then Nalahai maybe does not connect, because he would need some sort of city plus road tile. And then maybe if we get a Dorito tile, and a city cap, and a Dorito tile, then, yeah, then we can actually threaten a victory here. So I'm not sure if you remember that game or not. I'm not sure if you were looking at the CCL qualifiers, but the way Nalaheim lost against Miga and Oskill was by conceding a large completed city relatively early in the game. And we finally see that Migat does pull the trigger on the city, and he gets another cow for a second chance. Nalaheim with the monastery trying to further his scoreboard lead, maybe even thinking that he could allow the city to be completed as long as he gets some points for compensation. No.
So what we have to do here is red.
Okay, that's one option. Just kind of going for the ruin. I would have preferred something different. I would have preferred 2 points in a different manner. Maybe 2 points over here. Because it's also like protects the monastery a little bit. And the city at the bottom, surprisingly, but before this move, it was actually live, I think.
Yeah.
There's still a dagger like this. There's still some sort of butterfly like this. But now
It's totally dead, yeah.
Yep. Because now you need the dagger, a starting tile, and a third tile, and it's just much harder to complete. Nalaheim now with a road. I wonder why he's thinking about this for so long, because... Oh, now I understand. So there's several places to take 3 points. So there's one to the left of Red's Monastery.
Yeah.
And this is where you're... and this is like what you're thinking, right?
Yeah. It's the obvious one here, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like putting additional pressure. But I think he might be thinking about this spot too, trying to create an additional platform, or about even 2 points over here, just putting some pressure on these squares.
That's too much, you know. That's over. For me, it's overthinking, but
Yep.
yeah.
There we go. Oh, we have a deja vu from December.
Yeah. But more rational, just ignore this one and build your monasteries.
Or
in the row.
Or maybe just block Red's Monastery.
Or maybe just block. But we can score.
I know, yeah. But the thing is, like, how exactly do we build our monasteries? Because let's say if we go over here, well, then the new monastery is going to be dead anyway.
Yeah.
If we go over here, then we're spending our last meeple, and then this square is kind of vulnerable. So, I mean, we could also go here, but that would be the threat of that big city. He should be good to go.
You know, I actually think I know his style, so it's not his move at all. Yeah, I expected something like
really?
this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to be honestly kind of a waste of a monastery to. I know it's like one thing that Otto is good at. I think his main strength is prioritization. This is something that Melvin Quaresma, Otto, and I were having a joint practice session, and there was one point where both me and Melvin were saying some obvious move, but then Otto was saying no, like this big city is so important that we have to act right now, and he's thinking in terms of these things like from the standpoint of not point, and he figures that just that extra platform, is gonna give him more chances to win the game than scoring 3 points or even blocking an entire meeple off me got no skill. And so that's a very interesting idea here.
But now this extra platform may cost him a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Because he doesn't even need it. Now Megod has the extra people, so now Megod can use his extra platform. So, and this is why also Megod is not going here straight away, because this is the natural move, right? You take 3 points to try and block it here straight away, because this is the natural move, right? You take 3 points to try and block it. And then he's thinking, maybe we don't even need to care about this square too much. Maybe we can take 3 points over here, prepare another quick point score here with 3 points, and then maybe we can get a city cap and then invade and then do this and then finish a city with a 3 versus 2 majority. But I mean, you probably go here, right? Or would you have not done that?
I think I prefer mostly this move. Yeah.
See, a lot of natural moves have been played. As you can see, Megod is trying to block Otto's connection to the city, but Otto defends. But there's only one tile that fits there, so a 50-50 chance.
Yeah. Just one.
So a 50-50 chance to equalize the game. And I think it's also if Otto doesn't get this tile, then there are a lot of points in this incompleted city, like 15, 16 or something like this. And then Megod probably just wins.
Okay.
I mean, this move makes some sense, I guess, because this city was still live, technically, if I'm not mistaken, so that's a permanent block from Otto. In the meantime, great move from the Australian.
Very great, yeah, I like it a lot. But I surprised why he didn't close his right road.
Who?
Megod.
Did he have an opportunity to do
the one I tell you about. I told you about at the start of the game.
Right, yeah. So that road meeple has shown to be a liability so far. Well, he's trying. He's now listening to you, right? He's trying to close it, and then if he gets these 6 points, get a meeple back, I honestly think that Megod can even win this game, even if Otto equalizes the city.
Yeah.
Because that extra meeple really does a lot. Now we're going to see what Otto does, because Otto has only one meeple, and I think he's going to have only one meeple pretty much until the end of the game, unless he gets the last vanilla city cap to go over here and free one of his monasteries. So no monasteries remaining, but one vanilla that fits there.
So,
any suggestions here for
just
the highest rated player?
Just leave empty cap in his own field.
That works. Although there isn't. Yeah, or this.
Or just take it. Oh no.
Oh, this should be GG.
Yeah, it's pain.
Yeah. So first of all, Otto is not connecting over here, and all of these juicy points will belong to Mr. Migot. Second, I have no doubt that this tile goes over here to block the new city of Nalaheim, and oh boy, it's gonna hurt. He's thinking about the exact location of this tile, about the exact orientation, but actually, do you have any thoughts on how you rotate it? Like, do you turn it with a field side up, or to the right, or down?
I think in this particular situation, so field have to be on the bottom. So
okay, great minds things alike. Yeah, I was kind of going for the same idea. Just kind of curious to hear why exactly like this, because like all three of these possible moves make sense.
yeah, I actually always think about how many Doritos in the game. So if it's a lot Doritos, so it's better to use this orientation. Yeah, but if there's no so many Doritos, so if a lot of caps, so it's better. How to explain this?
Yeah, to basically to not do what Migot just did, because the thing that right happened on the screen is a thing that could really happen. So it's a bit of a subtle thought, but it's not enough to just add a big tile to your opponent's city. That orientation really matters. And I believe if he actually had listened to you / us, he would have managed to successfully deny
have one
the
more
city.
Extra platform to block this city.
Exactly, which would have worked with the curve that he had. But now Otto is not doing that bad. I mean, he's 9 points ahead on the scoreboard. He has an extra monastery. He has an extra field worth 9 points right there in the center. And even though Migot has all these city points, I believe that currently Otto is even slightly ahead. The one big problem, the extra meeple for the Australian, should be enough to convert the advantage. But how? So I can definitely see the Australian still losing if he does some not too cautious farmers like this one. Because Otto can deny that invasion. For example, if Otto gets the last vanilla city cap, he can go over here.
Yeah. And just block it.
And just block it, whilst also adding 1 point to himself. Or, you know, Otto can just score and then reinvade the field a little bit later. Probably the move that I'm most tempted by is to just take the empty city cap and go for 8 points. And what Otto is trying to double check if there's still city caps remaining, which I think there are.
And how many?
And how many, yeah, exactly. So I know at least the vanilla. Migot is probably going to score somewhere, plenty of places to take 3 points. Unless he has a different idea and maybe he wants to use it as a farming tile somehow. Which would not be the best idea. Any particular preference on when you take the 3 points?
Just trying to... Seems to me just any not.
It kind of, I think, depends on the number of remaining curves, because let's say in the scenario where Otto does get a city cap, but he does so on the last turn, a move that would make sense is maybe going over here.
Just to create, 2 more
to create the 3 points road. But it's...
Oh.
But I'm not sure how many curves there are, so maybe creating further scoring opportunities is not that important. So Dorito for Otto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there's still 1 curve remaining, which would make it seem that adding a point to his monastery and semi-blocking that invasion square would be a worthwhile endeavor. Yeah, and this is exactly what happens. Miga with the first city cap, and look, he now can score. If only he could listen. If only he had listened to us, right, and gone over here, he would have gotten himself 3 extra points. Now
there was a mistake. But he can just score 6 points field. I think it's the best move here.
Yeah, but it's still with investment with the meeple. If he were to listen to us, he could have scored 3 points for the road, and then on the last move, invested the point in the farmer. I guess he has to go for it. But if I'm not mistaken now, Red's game might be relying on that last vanilla city cap for the fields connection. And he has a 33% chance of getting it. And he also has only a 48 seconds to calculate the end game.
Oh, no.
Well, we don't know yet. Nalaham gets a curve. We don't know what happens with that curve. So basically, Nalaham has to hope to get the last vanilla city cap to deny Red the field invasion and also to finish his own city. I'm not exactly sure what the other tile in the deck is. It almost doesn't even matter which move he makes.
And is it enough to win for Nalaham?
I mean, it's a lot of points. It's like 8 points plus 3 on the field. I think it should be.
Yeah, it should be.
So I think what he's trying to figure out now, whether it makes sense to block the city cap in new Migot's field at the bottom. So let's say if there were something like a starting tile, which there isn't, but if there were, a move like this would deny 3 points to Migot if you were to get the other city cap, but I don't think there is a city cap that fits there. Yeah, so no starting tiles, no barbed wires, and no daggers, I believe.
Yeah, there's no daggers.
So really all you gotta do as Nalaham is just not lose on time. Not lose on time?
Oh no, oh no.
Not lose on time?
Oh, that's dangerous.
Okay,
Maybe.
so did he lose on time, or is it something with our connection? Because it also could be the case. But if there is anything with our... No, everything's fine. I think he actually lost on time, right?
Oh no. Really?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this just in case. No, he actually lost on time, for real. Oh wait, no he didn't. No, he didn't lose on time. Yeah, it was something with our connection indeed. But basically, what happened is that, yeah, he
didn't get this.
He didn't get this vanilla city cap, and he lost by 2 points. So he finished his city, but Migot was able to win the coin flip and connect over here. So we were right in the sense that getting this vanilla city cap would have been enough for Nalaham to win, because this farmer would have scored 9 less, at least.
Oh, it's really, I'm really surprised. It's 2 points difference here.
Yeah, but like 8 points for the city, and then there's also all the extra monastery and the scoreboard lead that Nalaham had. And also, by the way, if only Nalaham were to 1-0, because Larpatore has defeated Shane, as would have been expected on table 3. Larpatore is one of the 3 Finnish masters.
It's really fast, just like my game yesterday.
Yes. Right, so these guys played 2 games at the time that Nalaham played only 1. Alrighty.
Oh, and they started to play faster. It seems to me.
A little bit, maybe a bit of tilt, who knows? Because it does appear It's a fairly complicated position because you see there are not many features on the board to have scored, lots of roads, and lots of non-obvious moves to have been made. So let's start making sense of this position. So Nalaham has already spent 5 of his green meeples, and it has resulted in 2 extra points on the scoreboard. Migot with pretty much nothing on the board, but 6 meeples in his arsenal, which he's prepared to use, I have no doubt. To use how? So what do we do?
That's an interesting question.
Do we start a new city, or do we invade Nalheim city over here?
I don't like this idea, really. I don't like it. Maybe I prefer to wait a little, and try to block this castle. So in that situation, I prefer to build just a new one city. And also, I like, to connect to opponent city with big tiles.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So if he blocks you, you just can continue your castle from the other side.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a huge difference. And so what Migot could have done is just start a new city anywhere, I don't know, here, for example, and then waited for something like this, which actually had, and then gone over here and invaded. And also another thing that I was thinking, if you are to invade Green City anyway, you're actually better off using not this square, but this square, because it's unblockable. You have, 5 of these Rojoritos that would fit there. Now... Oh, that's actually kind of nice move to complete the invasion and also making it so that this guy cannot easily re-invade. But you having doubts about that?
No, we just made 2 moves to equalize 5-point cities.
Yeah.
So really, we didn't take new city. We didn't score points here. So just. Crazy moves. For my opinion,
No,
guys.
I agree, but it's also very interesting because these are moves which are, they're not bad on the surface because they are advancing Red's objectives, they are improving Red's position, but for them improving Red's positions enough. So for example, there's a great point that you made about taking 2 points over here with the horse, and also creating a blocking threat against Nalaheim's monastery because there are no starting tiles remaining, and it's possible to block this completely. And I think that's a big missed opportunity for Migot. Yeah, it appears that we're just going to have these disruptions once in a while, and there's really not all that much that we can do about it. At least for the next couple of days. So nothing really much has happened. Nalaheim scored a couple of extra points for cities. He's now 7 points ahead on the scoreboard. Migot still has yet to spend his meeples, and we're still bemoaning, that missed blocking opportunity next to Nalaheim's monastery. But a monastery for Migot over here, that's actually kind of nice. And now maybe a chance to go over here, set up another monastery, and even drop a 9-point farmer, perhaps. Or do you prefer going over here and trying to prepare and finish that monastery with a curve?
I prefer to create a new monastery spot. Yeah, it's obvious because we have 4 more. Yeah. Even if we had just 2 more monasteries, it costs to create this spot. Oh.
But that's also makes sense, that's right? Okay. He's trying to block at the top, and it especially makes sense in a position where a lot of city plus road tiles have gone out. So, for example, if Migot now does something like this, then he's threatening to get another curve and permanently block this meeple because all 4 starting tiles are already on the board. For us, the players are playing slow enough. that, again, there have been no major changes to the position other than the fact that Migot successfully got away with his kind of risky city over here. Nalaheim, in the meantime, managed to get away with a larger city against Migot's invasion due to the splitter tile. But the blocking attempt that Migot is playing against Nalaheim on the right has actually one tile umbrella, that fits here. Well, he's now trying to do something about it. Nalaheim can defend indirectly, which is exactly what he does. So making sure that it's still an umbrella makes sense, because this move damages the church more severely than it might seem. Nalaheim now with a monastery tile, and he now will be debating whether to use this monastery as a monastery or whether to actually finally meeple the field. I'm not sure which one's correct here. Do you prefer to just continue your monastery cluster on the right, or just go for a 9-point field with the risk that red might take over that field anyway?
Hard choice. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just want to say that I prefer this move. Yeah.
And do you agree with no meeple placement there?
That's actually what I thinking about. And was thinking about. Yeah, that's interesting, because I was thinking about how he can free his meeples. So he can still take the crossroad. Yeah. How else? There's still one umbrella, but yeah, I think it's okay that he didn't use the meeple. Yeah, I know you don't like such moves.
Yeah,
like,
I generally don't. I mean, like I'm gonna just.
But it's just 4 points monastery for now. You know.
Yeah, but like it's not just about the number of points, because I mean later he can grow. And one thing,
it's too late for staking, you know.
You think? But he's gonna get meeple back. Like he still has a chance to get here, and he still has crossroads over here to go back.
Just one more meeple, I think.
Yeah, but okay.
Not the boss.
Well, you see, like Migot thinks otherwise. No, he stacks just like a proper cluster. 7 points for one monastery, 5 for the other. Actually, great position for red, really. The only thing that Nalaheim is going for him is the 8 extra points on the scoreboard, but positionally, yeah, Migot just has more stuff. And finally,
that's strange. And now this move looks strange for me.
I actively dislike this move. So I thought, 9-point field, that definitely makes sense. But one thing that's not understandable to me, why not just start an 8-point city on the right?
Yeah.
I know that many city caps have gone out, but not...
City.
Yeah. Like, it's just such... Like, it's just so normal, I know that Otto is like playing 3-dimensional Carcassonne, and there's definitely a good reason as to why he chose not to start that city on the right, but sometimes, the super strong players have a tendency to overcomplicate things. So for example, now, he kind of lost 4 points on it. I mean, he did get himself a city cap, but, not as juicy as it could have been.
I think he was afraid about his opponent meeple this field, but it seems to me it would be okay if he meepled another field, right field. So because of 3 crossroads, so.
Exactly, yeah. And I think this is also one of the reasons why Migot delayed the invasion of the field earlier on, because there's just simply no urgency here. Like, imagine, Otto goes over here, starts a new city. Migot does this, what he did, but with a farmer. Then Otto can easily go over here, drop a farmer like this, and then wait for a crossroads to connect the two fields anyway. And also now, okay, Otto has these 9 points, but Migard still has plenty of invasion options. For example, going over here and dropping a farmer, and also invading through the same crossroads, and also because the field is 9 points, it is good. It is the best field in the game, but it is only 3 points better than the second best field. And there's a 6-point field over here, 6-point field over here. So it does not appear to be that game-winning feature which fields normally are. In the meantime, Nalheim's trying to block Migod City. Migod gets a crossroad, which he probably going to use for defense, with still 1 vanilla city cap remaining. Although, do you just want to take points? Do you just want to take 3 points for a road? Do you want to try free up your monastery, which would be bad, but do you want to do it?
Which 3 points?
At the bottom, which he should have taken. Yeah, this move definitely is an oversight. 3 points here next to Nalheim's monastery were better. Even though these are not 2 points because he's prolonging his monastery, but still, eventually a tile is going to fit in the square anyway, so you might as well take the 3 points right now. It could be the time trouble. It could be that time trouble that is causing problems for the Australian here. But he has another quick point tile and not a very difficult decision. He can just score. Or maybe defend his city on the right, hoping for a city splitter like this. I doubt if that's what he should be doing.
And now?
Well, a block, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost an instant move from Nalheim, still putting on that time pressure. Now Migod's position does not look that great anymore.
Maybe now he can meeple that field. There's another Nalheim's monastery somewhere.
Yeah, at the bottom would make sense. Still
6
wait.
points field and then scores with the crossroad. So.
Yeah, but instead he chooses to defend his monastery because there was a risk of Nalheim maybe getting an extender. Wait, there's no extenders, but maybe a splitter or something. Yeah, and trying to block.
6 points field. Oh, 6 points field. Oh my god. Why there?
Yeah, honestly, it's definitely a mistake. So first of all, there was no urgency, of course, because there are multiple 6-point field. Yeah. Second, if you're gonna meeple a 6-point field, as you said, you might as well go to the bottom field, because there's still a chance that this 6-point field here might turn into a 9-point field as a result of the last crossroads, which would connect all these farmers over here. Moreover, going over here would actually prevent Nalheim from using a crossroads for scoring 4 points for this road. But you know, these are the choices that Red is making here, and Nalheim just keeps getting quick points. And on top of that, there's still that last butterfly tile, which Nalheim could use to get his meeple back from the city. It seems to me that maybe Migod is underestimating the severity of his position, really.
Yeah.
And Nalheim gets the butterfly tile. And this should be an
GG.
obscene score. Yeah.
It should be GG.
I felt like it has been GG for a while. It's just... What, he's gonna finish the city for 6?
It was obvious he has more chances this position, so yeah.
Yeah, and he was thinking whether to take the road points or to drop a farmer, and I'm surprised that he chose to... Well, I mean, he must know this. Like, he must have calculated this, that he's gonna still have 2 meeples to spend on 6-point farms and so on and so on.
There are a lot 6 points farms here, so yeah. That's actually 4 empty.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm thinking there's still a crossroads remaining, so it might make sense to spend a meeple so that in the event you get a crossroads, you try and score 5 points for that new road. Like over here, this here road, I was thinking. Well, me got, with a great deal of urgency, takes another 6-point field. Not sure exactly why. Oh, okay, it makes some sense. But Nalaham could just take another 6-point field at the bottom right. Wait, no, he can't.
That's a bot. No, yeah.
He can't.
Would be a mistake.
So that's actually a nice tactical move here from Migat, denying Nalahheim the best field in the game, but still with 20 extra points on the scoreboard, I think the Finns should be doing fine in this one. Yeah, just a 4-point city here for Nalahheim. Me got to get his crossroads to score 1 point, to score 0 points instead of 1. I think Migat might have missed that he had an option to get himself 1 extra monastery point. Not that it matters necessarily. It's a very interesting game, and I kind of like that you pointed out about the things about this opening, that it seems that the Australian was getting decent tiles, but just was not extracting maximum value from them.
Yeah, he just played fine moves.
Yeah, exactly. But like at the World Team Carcassonne Online Championships, okay moves are not enough. You need to find the best move with tile that you got, because you're not always gonna get the best tiles, and you need to extract maximum value that prepares you for these tile droughts and rainy days.
Every move should be just excellent. A brilliant move, like in chess,
with 2 exclamation marks. Yes. As a result, 21 points is the difference. So Nalahheim is getting a comeback. We are headed for a decider. And do you want to? And before we watch the decider, though, let's just do some quick check on
the total score. Yeah.
On the other scores. Yeah. So there are some other deciders going on between Ilka and Rob35.
So.
Okay, so we're back here. Oh, well, look at this. Finland has already won the match, actually, with 3 players, Larpa, Tore, Ilka, and Lopinkoski, so the 2 masters and an expert, taking care of business. But we have 2 deciders, one between Deivainen and Smurf, the one table where actually the Australian is a rating favorite, and of course Nalahheim versus Me Got No Skill, where the Finnish master is not out of the woods just yet. A reminder to all that the score matters, not just the results of the match, but it makes a difference whether you lose 0-5, 1-4, or 2-3 for tiebreakers later. So we still Nalahheim despite taking a rating hit due to his loss in the first one, is still the highest rated player in the world with 821 rating points. Me got just under 21 rating points. Me got just under the expert threshold with 493. Still playing the red meeples, has 3 of those in hand. Nalahheim with his trademark green has only 2 of those in hand, but a lot of those invested on the board. Yeah, just the question to you, like, who do you prefer here and why?
Let me think. Oh, it's pretty equal.
Okay.
and connected to city, and now he's okay.
Yeah, so very equal position actually, very interesting. Yeah, so big fight for ruin going on. But I'm feeling that Nalaham is just trying to reduce the variance. He's thinking, you know, I'm the highest rated player in the world. I'm so much stronger. So I want to not allow my opponents to draw something like a vanilla city cap and invade this city. So the purpose of this move is not so much to score the 5 points for the monastery, although that's part of it. It's just really not allow Migat to potentially invade the city, even though we don't necessarily know if he has the tile to do so. What Migat has, though, is a tile to invade the field at the top. We see another 6-point farmer, which will soon be merging with the green farmer on the left, but on the right we have a far more exciting event as Migat is starting a new city and a chance to draw something which Nalahheim now has in hand and go over here and win a big 18-point ruin, whilst also putting some pressure on Nalahheim city over here, which he now has been able to cover up. Migat with a but a city cap. And now the question is, do we just start a new city somewhere else and keep the tension in this position, preserving the chance of potentially getting this connection? Or do we just bail out, get the 4 points for the purpose of simply getting a meeple back?
Yeah, it seems to me that he have to create start a new city, yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of outs to connect this big ruin.
And then if you do start a new city, any particular preference as to where?
Actually, not so many, just 3 out, but yeah.
Yeah, this actually makes a lot of sense. He's starting a new city. He's also indirectly protecting his city, which is soon to be blocked there on the left. Otto with a great move, and look at this!
Just in time.
Just in time, as Migat was going to connect to that huge ruin, but now look at this. The city on the right is a bit impaired. Then also the monastery of red is severely impaired as well. There are only 2 tiles that fit into the square, and there was a valuable daggers, which red would need another place. Red chooses to... Ay.
And back.
4-0 to Finland. Migat can do something about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are only 2 curves remaining, so maybe a move like this would make some sense.
Yeah, also thinking about that, yeah.
Trying to delay the recovery of that green meeple, but priorities. He does not get any of that. It's just such a long plan.
Yeah,
it takes
such a long
multiple curves, and probably Otto's best course of action is just to ignore that plan. I also noted the monastery, we kind of missed the blocking opportunity at the top, so there are no big top, never become a threat. Migat still has 1 dagger available for him to go over here if he so chooses, but he could actually go here now and defend, which seems to me the only reasonable move.
It seems like it was a lot of tactics from red, but no strategy, you know.
That's an interesting point. So, like, there's long-term thinking is something that you want to be thinking about. Well, speaking of tactics, there is some, because a 6-point road has been scored. Oh, but that was by Nalahheim. Yeah, look at this. He even got all his meeples out, and that straight line move, that was genuine thinking. So he chose not to defend over here. He actually went over here and tried to block Nalahheim's monastery, just unsuccessfully, and it's so rough. But he will succeed with his long-term plan. I'll give you that. You know, the plan of unifying all the fields, which he was going for. But the problem with that plan is that it only gives him 6 points.
Yeah.
So adding these 2 extra cities.
and Norham has a lot of platforms to connect.
If he even has to, because like he might not even want to do that.
Yeah.
For example, Nalaham can just finish his monastery now. If he decided he needs a meeple, but he decided he doesn't even need a meeple. He simply wants to create the threat of completing his city. In the meantime, Migot's probably gonna finally connect the field, right? If there's, I don't think anything better. And then Nalaham's gonna like reconnect at the bottom. So the main platform that I presume you're thinking about is something like this. Dropping a farmer here and then reconnecting like that.
That's the best one.
Or, you know, Nalaham just might finish his city. That might be a more reliable strategy. Curvy tile for Migot, not an obvious move to use it. He might want to go at the bottom or on the right somewhere, maybe here or here. Puts some pressure on Nalaheim City, or maybe going over here. No, maybe like going over here to prevent that farming idea that we just discussed. So since these are the last few tiles of the game, I guess it doesn't matter that much. But you know, you still want to make the best move that you could possibly make.
And I think now we will see field connection move.
Do you think he cares about that?
I'm still here.
Oh, actually, 18 points. It's not a bad field. It's not a bad field.
Yeah, and this place you talked about, so it gives Nalaham 3 points, so it's not 0. Just good place to connect.
Yeah.
Because I really don't like these empty fields, these empty places to connect. Yeah.
Well, he might also be thinking about something like this and going for a ninja farmer, but as you said, you know, too much emptiness and stuff, and there's also a couple of crossroads in the deck to, you know, put an end to this. Oh, but what we need to check, are there even tiles for connection? Because at this stage of the game, it's not obvious.
I was trying to find out how many.
Well, one curve at the very least.
Yeah, one curve.
No monastery, but one curve. And no vanillas, I think? One vanilla. No, one vanilla, yeah. No vanillas. So actually just the one curve. Maybe that's why he doesn't want to do it. And there's, of course, also the one Dorito, but the one Dorito doesn't really count because he needs the Dorito in other places anyway.
We'll see if he will need it. No. Just the next move.
Huh. Look at this. Look at that. No, I guess he just wants to be precise. He wants to try and win, you know, without any additional effort, really. So he goes for a 4-point road and he just scores. Migot successfully blocks the city of Nalaheim, but meepling that city cap was a huge tactical error that's going to cost him 3 points. Sadly, he spent his last meeple when there wasn't really a reason to do so with so many city caps open. But that's okay. I don't think these 3 points are really going to matter in order to win. He doesn't even want to risk that. We're getting a slight disruption for the last 2 tiles. Maybe we'll be just in time to get the final tally. Ooh, score, of course.
But still, it was a great experience, you know.
Yeah. We're still...
And pretty funny.
Oh, what do you mean?
You know, it's just talking to you, you know, why it's and discussing different situations on the field. I I found it just funny way to spend funny in a good way.
Gotcha. Necessary because the other the other guys what Tavainen might still be playing, but so we might still enjoy for like 10 more minutes. Anyway, our congratulations I guess goes to Nalaheim for managing to deliver the comeback win and finally exert revenge on the painful defeat from December earlier. I guess the score difference is the one thing that we are yet to find out.
Yeah, actually, he showed his skill in this game.
Yeah. I mean, he did win also a couple crucial coin flips, but it was very, very convincing performance in that last game, especially 15 points. So it's not like that huge, but it's the control of the game from start to finish, really. And I think it also goes back to this interesting move. So with this monastery, this is a move that Nalaheim would not have played against maybe a different player, against a fellow matcher perhaps. This is definitely trying to control for Wehrmans and hope to outmaneuver his opponent later, which is exactly what happened. And yeah, and props for Migot for winning the first game and just keeping the Finnish fans on their heels. Finally, let's do check indeed if Tavainen is still playing. Where is he? Ilk already won.
So is it 5-0 or 4-1 for Finland?
Yeah, so this is what we're gonna try and find out. Tavainen. Is he playing or is he over?
Yeah, you were right.
Yes.
Well, that really he just I know why Sergey did it, because I did a sticker with him.
So it is a clean sweep from Finland, which is honestly not what I expect, but
yeah, it's surprising.
I know, yeah. What a way to start the championship, really.
It's like ace in tennis, yeah. Just
yeah. So obviously the score from Nalaheim and Migot has not renewed, but it's obviously 2 Nalaheim, 1 Migot, and 5-0. It's got to be rough, but still. So that's something for Australians. They made it close in 3 duels. Migot took the first one of Nalaheim. Smurf took the first one of Tavainen. Rob 3-3-5. Made it interesting against Ilk. Now on tables 3 and 5, the experience was a bit rougher. So decent start for the Australians. Let's see if they manage to put up a fight against some other teams. And we're going to be wrapping up shortly, because as much as I'd love to have you for more streams, I don't think you can stay in this country forever.
Yeah. I wish.
Yes, well, who knows, but we will try and repeat that experience as far as possible. And yeah, we'll be just really wrapping up in due course. There's going to be a stream a bit later. I haven't quite decided whether I'm going to cover Japan, Netherlands, or Guatemala versus Colombia. You're going to find out it's like very spontaneously, about 5 minutes versus the stream, so just make sure to stay in tune. And yeah, thank you, Kirilo, so much for...
Thank you, Alexey, for having me.
Yeah, cheers. And thank y'all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon.